Hey, it's Joe Glines, and I wanted to create this tutorial. A lot of people are switching to Zoom, and I've been using Zoom for, I don't know, 4 years easily. I've held over 40, I think, webinars on it, plus weekly meetings and lots of stuff. So you can join Zoom from a extension in your browser. I recommend you actually download the client, install it, and even create an account. So right here, after you install it, I went to launch and it says join a meeting or sign in. You can sign in. If you sign in and you create an account with Zoom, it'll remember more settings for you, and it is handy. So I do recommend you do that. Let's go ahead and hit join a meeting. Now here, someone probably, if you're joining a meeting that someone gave to you, you're going to have a meeting ID. And this one, because I've joined it before, here's this personal, this is my meeting. It's actually running on my other computer right now, which is next to me. And this is where you put in your name of the name you want people to see. So if this is what you'd put here. If you just want your first name, great, or whatever. Um, you can check this if you want to remember it. And if you don't want your video on, you can select this. I recommend you leave it on. It helps people understand if how whether things are being conveyed, and when they're talking to you, can understand a lot of things and emotions. Think of it as like an email, right? When you just see the email, it's really hard to get context. When you have a video, it really helps you understand if the people are joking or how serious they are or whatnot, if they're understanding you. So I'm gonna hit join, and now it's gonna come right in and say, okay, join with video. Yeah, all right, I get it. And here we go. Now we came into the meeting. Now notice this is this computer here, and I have the other one running next to me. This is my other webcam over to the side. That's actually my main computer. This isn't my normal computer. Um, Let me go ahead and minimize this. So the main thing to understand in Zoom is that there's this one window. There's several windows often, and this is where it gets confusing. You can have several windows going at one time, but there's this one toolbar window view. And this is where, more often than not, when people join, they have a problem with their sound settings. And so you click this little button here, looks like a tilde or a caret, and you can select your microphone and your speakers. And this is where, just come in after you click this, make sure you select the right microphone, select the speakers. There's also, I think, a setting that you can go through in Zoom and test it. Oh, actually, let's just go here to audio. Oh, test speaker and microphone. So you can click here, and it's going to walk you through of which speaker it's on. Great. Let's put the speaker on. It's actually the head. My son has a little Oculus Rift. Um, yeah, I'm gonna pretend I heard it, and then test the microphone. So now I'm using the webcam microphone. Webcam microphones are pretty good. If you have a separate webcam, they're not terrible, but make sure you have a speaker. If you're using a laptop, I recommend you get a headset because the quality is so much better. And if you don't have a headset, you get a lot of reverb, a lot of the echoing, which can drive people nuts. So I do recommend, if you're going to be doing calls a lot, and today's day and age looks like, hey, you know what, we're going to be doing more and more of this. I recommend you get a headset. I have just my home computer. I have it playing over my speakers, and I have a really well, it's not really expensive, but a Yeti Blue Yeti microphone. The quality is amazing. I don't have to have something on my head all the time. It's really nice. So let me hit yes here. I would recommend buying a headset if you're using a laptop. Is my main point. But that's it, right? You come in here and make sure you select the proper sound ones, and that's where most people go wrong. You can also, while you're in a meeting, you can hit here to mute yourself, right? You can mute and unmute. Here you can have a different view. You can change the views. The other thing I wanted to mention was the chat. So as usually when we start off meetings, what I do is I mute everybody else because I'm leading like a webinar, but I allow them to unmute themselves. And so I tell people, look, if you have a question, you can come in the chat here and type a question, and we'll see it. Or you come in here and you can write the question out, and I'll read it for you if you like. If you don't feel like talking, or you can also just say, hey, please unmute me, or unmute yourself at a pause place, right? So we're not talking over each over. The hard when you have a lot of people in a meeting, the worst part is that multiple people unmute themselves at the same time. And it gets really loud, especially because some people will call in from a phone and they don't realize they're doing the stuff, and they don't mute their phone, and it becomes really, really loud in the background. So I'm a little authoritarian here, and I will mute people if I can tell that there's a lot of background noise coming from their stuff. It's nothing personal. It's just that it's ruining it for everybody. So we try to be good about that. But remember, there's the chat here. We can actually share files. You can share your screen. You notice in this toolbar, remember this toolbar, here's where you go to share the screen. And this is one thing that's catches a lot of people is when you click it, what to share. So let's say I wanted to click, I can click a window or a desktop screen. So there's that screen. When I hit share, if I just click this, it doesn't do anything. This is the part that most people get confused on. So I have to click it and then click share. And that is what will allow me to share my desktop and everyone can see it, and then the pictures get smaller. But this is what we'll do if we have like a PowerPoint deck or a website we want to drive people to and to show them, right? So it allows us to share screens. Generally speaking, it's pretty fun and easy. So and I'm happy to try to connect and help people test it, give it a run before we actually have a meeting. So let me know if you want to do that. All right, thank you.